There are 9 things a person who truly hates you will give you, and none of them look like open conflict. Most people think hatred is loud, arguments, insults, confrontation, but real hatred is quieter. It hides behind politeness, familiarity, even friendliness. It shows up in small moments, subtle shifts, patterns that make you feel uneasy without being able to explain why. You might think you're overreacting, being paranoid, imagining problems that aren't there. But your nervous system is picking up on something your conscious mind hasn't fully put into words yet. Because hatred doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it smiles, while it cuts. And if you've ever felt uneasy around someone without knowing exactly why, here are the 9 things a person who truly hates you will give you. 1. They only acknowledge you when it benefits them. People who hate you don't seek connection. They don't check in. They don't show interest in your life. They don't engage unless there's something they want. A favor, information, access, support. Once they get it, the interaction ends. This isn't forgetfulness. It's conditional recognition. You exist to them only when you're useful. And when usefulness disappears, so does their attention. Notice the pattern. They reach out when they need something, a ride, help with a project, an introduction, backup in a conflict. And in those moments, they can be perfectly pleasant, almost warm. You might even think, maybe I was wrong about them. But once they get what they need, the warmth evaporates. Messages go unanswered. Invitations are declined. They become busy, distant. Psychologically, this is called instrumental behavior. You're not a person to them. You're a resource. And the cruelest part? They know exactly what they're doing. Maintaining just enough connection to keep access to what you provide. They don't hate you enough to cut you off, because that would eliminate your usefulness. They hate you enough to never genuinely care. 2. They disguise disrespect as humor. They make jokes that feel off, comments that single you out, remarks that leave you exposed in front of others. If you react, they minimize it. It was just a joke. You're taking it too seriously. Can't you take a joke? But humor that repeatedly puts you down isn't humor. It's hostility with plausible deniability. Watch the pattern. They joke about your appearance, especially insecurities. Your choices, framed as foolish or naive. Your failures, disguised as teasing. Your boundaries, presented as uptightness. And it's usually done in front of others. Because the goal isn't just to hurt you, it's to lower your status. This is a sophisticated form of aggression. If you get upset, you're the problem. If you don't react, it continues. Real humor is mutual. Both people laugh, both feel good afterward. Targeted humor is one-sided. They laugh. You don't, or you fake it to avoid conflict. And they never apologize, because your discomfort was the point. People who respect you don't enjoy making you uncomfortable. People who hate you do. Trust your gut, it knows the difference. 3. They withdraw when something good happens to you. Pay attention to how they respond when you succeed. A promotion, a milestone, a personal win. Someone who hates you doesn't celebrate it. They go quiet. Change the subject. Offer flat, delayed responses. Oh, cool, that's nice, must be nice. Sometimes they respond hours later, as if acknowledging your joy required effort. Or worse, they acknowledge it and immediately diminish it. That role isn't that hard to get. You just got lucky. I guess it's good, if that's what you're into. This isn't indifference, it's resentment. Your success reminds them of what they feel lacking in themselves. They can't genuinely celebrate you because your progress feels like their failure. And here's the painful part. They often disappear when things are going well, but reappear when things go wrong, not to support you, but because your struggle feels like balance to them. 4. They subtly undermine your confidence. They question your decisions, doubt your abilities, frame criticism as concern. Are you sure that's a good idea? I just don't want you to get hurt. I'm only being honest. Over time, it creates hesitation, second-guessing, self-doubt. This isn't guidance, it's erosion. They highlight risks you've already considered, bring up past mistakes, compare you unfavorably to others. And they do it slowly. One comment doesn't break you, but dozens, spread over time, reshape how you see yourself. Eventually, you hear their voice even when they're not around. They don't want you to fail loudly. They want you to shrink quietly. If someone consistently makes you feel less capable, less confident, less sure, they're not helping you grow. They're hoping you'll stop trying. 5. They create emotional inconsistency. This is the most confusing behavior. At times, they're warm, engaged, almost supportive, then suddenly, cold again, distant again. This cycle keeps you uncertain and invested. It's not accidental. Psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful ways to keep someone emotionally hooked. Just enough warmth to keep you hoping. But the warmth isn't real change, it's a tactic. The coldness is who they are. The warmth is what keeps you from leaving. Someone who genuinely cares doesn't make you audition for approval. Consistency is care. Confusion is control. 6. They share your private information strategically. Someone who hates you doesn't protect your confidences. They share what you told them in private, not carelessly, but strategically. To the right people, at the worst moments, in ways that make you look weak or flawed. If confronted, they deflect. I didn't think it was a secret. I was just talking. I was asking for advice. But notice, they never share things that make you look good. This damages your reputation and teaches you that vulnerability isn't safe. Your trust becomes ammunition. 7. They never take accountability. When they hurt you, watch what happens. Someone who cares will listen, apologize, and adjust. Someone who hates you will deny, deflect, reverse blame, or minimize. I'm sorry you feel that way. You're too sensitive. That's not what happened. Eventually you stop speaking up because every attempt leaves you feeling worse. That's the goal. No accountability means no consequences. 8. They exclude you deliberately. In groups, they leave you out, quietly, consistently. Plans happen around you. Inside jokes exclude you. Conversations shift when you approach. It's subtle enough to make you doubt yourself, but consistent enough to hurt. They want you to feel like you don't belong without ever saying it out loud. 9. They constantly compare you to others. They highlight how others are better, more successful, more attractive, more talented. Every win you share is met with someone else's bigger win. The message is clear. You're not enough. Comparison becomes a weapon, one that keeps you chasing and never satisfied.